All right, Mr. Mayor, we'll call your case with Mr. Jones and Miss Everett.
Thank you.
So we're calling the case of docket 03-04065. That is Guardian National versus Rodney Jones. I have it on 2 files in my docket, and Zipporah Everett. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
For the plaintiff, Your Honor, my name is Ralph Mayers, P23815, here to respond to the 2 objections filed by the defendants.
Thank you. And sir, you are Rodney Jones?
Yes.
And ma'am, you are Zipporah Everett?
Yes.
All right. This is the time set. I have this as and this is not the first time we've seen the case, but this is an objection to the initially set order that was submitted under the 7-day rule, if I remember correctly. And if I remember correctly, I want to go through the ROA. On October 25th, the defendant failed to appear. I denied the objection at that point. On November 22nd, I denied the objection at that point. Now we're on December 6th. And there's an objection to the garnishment and to concerning this matter. And Mr. Mayers, I'll let you respond to their objection. Who would like to state the request for the objection from Mr. Jones and Ms. Everett?
Zipporah Everett, I'm
right.
requesting.
All right, you may proceed.
What I'm requesting, showing that we have already, this car was $6,000. He has already garnished my check and my taxes. We are over $20,000 paying this guy. And I tried to locate him on the telephone numbers that he given me, but they are wrong numbers. And after 20 years and all the money that he has received from us and also the vehicle, I really feel like that this should be thrown out. I mean, he's got 3 times the amount on the vehicle and he still has the vehicle also.
All right, Mr. Mayor, your response. My understanding, as I remember from last time, that this is a statutory interest type of file. That it's the interest that's really what Ms. Everett finds so objectionable, more than the underlying balance. However, I know that this has been going on for some time. Go ahead, Mr. Mayers.
Thank you, Your Honor. This seems to be deja vu all over again. On November 22nd, you heard the exact same argument that Ms. Zipporah is making again today. And as you pointed out, she's failed to show for a couple of prior hearings, but Your Honor was very clear in explaining to her on November 22nd on the record, and I made the same argument, of course, and Your Honor agreed that the statutory interest is what it is, and that's why this judgment has grown. We have reached out to Ms. Everett over the time that this case has been pending. It's been renewed. The judgment is over 10 years, but we did have a renewal order. She has failed to recognize and will not, I guess, understand that statutory interest runs, and that's why payments don't always even cover the interest. Your Honor explained all this to her. She's doing this again, same exact argument. So we have the same exact answer, Your Honor. It's statutory interest, and her objections. We have no garnishment on her wages. We don't have a place of employment. We've only been able to file tax garnishments over the years, and this judgment has grown. So we certainly would like the court to rule the same way it did last time on the same argument and deny Ms. Zipporah's objections to this case. And she's asking that it be totally thrown out, which obviously we don't agree with.
Right.
Yeah. Also,
go ahead, Ms. Everett.
Yes, I also would like to state that I have 2 letters that over the years I have wrote Mr. Myers. He have not responded. And I also have 3 telephone numbers that are disconnected, where I had to go under where my income was too much for me to get a lawyer. But finally, I got a hold to one under Hood, which they tried to locate Mr. Myers, and it took 4 days. And then she reached me with a telephone number for him. But the numbers that's on all his paperwork and the numbers that I have went online to reach Mr. Myers are all disconnected, and I can give them all to you. And I do have the letter, which I have wrote him in 2011. And I have a letter which I have wrote him in 2015. I still have not, didn't get a response from him, and nothing is online with no telephone numbers. I just couldn't get a hold to him. And yes, it is my taxes is what he's been garnished every couple years. Somehow he's sliding through the cracks. I don't know how, but after I get the paperwork, the dates it's on there, but then the court date is already has been come and gone. And far as Rodney Jones goes, it's been since 2003. He has been garnishing his checks up to $16,000 every 2 weeks. I have every payment of paperwork on that also. And like I said, he has the vehicle, and we're up to $20,000 on a $6,000 car. And also, I worked for a Save-A-Lot company, and they have sold the company. And I'm also waiting on paperwork, which I had to call, write the third party withholding treasury building to try to get paperwork. So I just have 19,000 that I can show now of paid, but I even paid even more of that. It's just the company has, I paid this car off through a garnishment at Save-A-Lot, and I just don't have the paperwork on it because they have sold the company. And it's been so long. So the lawyer that gave me the telephone number to get in contact with him also gave me the number for the Treasury Department to, I'm just waiting on paperwork back from them to show withholdings because it's too, it's so long ago.
Mr. Jones, did you have anything for the court to hear?
Yes,
You may
To the-
proceed.
to Mr. Myers. So all these years you've been garnishing me. Why you never connected me and tell me to come to court? My name is on it. So how is she the only one being told to come to court? Now, when you called me in 2018, I was very respectful. Hey, okay, I understand. I did co-sign for a car. Let's make an arrangement. You told me, don't know how to get in touch with her. You'd only have to pay so much until we get in touch with her. How much do you want me to pay? You're not giving me a final dollar. It's $6,000. You was taking 125. I was giving you $250 a month from June. Where's the paper? Because I got the paperwork from June 12th. You started June 12th of 2018. You started taking $250 a month. Here it is going on 2023. How much interest is a $6,000 car? Now, on my behalf, you saying you told me until you get in touch with her, but from this conversation, it looks like you've been in touch with her. But you told me, hey, I don't know how to get in touch with her. Do you know how to get in touch with her? No, we don't speak, so I don't know how to get in touch with her. And you told me you didn't, so I had to be penalized until you find her. But it looks like you was penalizing me, and all along, you've been talking with her.
Mr. Jones, is that all your argument?
And I like this to be stopped on my behalf because I'm not going to continue to pay on a $6,000 car, knowing I got paperwork sitting in my face saying I didn't pay it over $16,000 for the car. Ain't no interest that high. This sounds like the mortgage stuff back in the day. What they gonna do 10 years from now? Tell me, hey, we was a fraud. We owe you money. No, not going for that. This is exactly what this sounds like. That mortgage stuff back in the day.
All right.
He is still garnishing every 2 weeks.
Where they passing out money right now because they was getting over on people. There's nowhere in the world no car costs $6,000 and you got interest 20 years later. And you told her before it was a collection issue, When you go to collection, your payment don't keep growing. You're stopped at that. This is what you owe. So if it's a collection issue, it's not going to keep growing and growing and growing.
Are you all set,
And I'm
Mr.
trying not
Jones?
to get a lawyer, but I will get a lawyer, but I'm trying not to get a lawyer.
All right, Mr. Jones, are you all set?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Mayor's response, and then I'll rule.
Okay, Your Honor, we have a policy. We try to reach out to defendants and offer settlements if they have a lump sum or partial payments. Mr. Jones worked with us through our office and set up a payment plan of $125. I believe every other week was his pay. That was back in 2019, but he got a little tied up and contacted us and asked if he could reduce the monthly payment. We agreed. And we have a forever garnishment in place on his employment. However, we're not going to insist on the 25% from the garnishment that it calls for, because we were working with Mr. Jones so he could afford to make some payments. And we agreed to reduce the $125 to $75 per pay, which has been coming out. Last pay came out December, let's see,
You
December
guys been
5th.
garnishing his check
Excuse
since
me.
2004.
Miss Everett,
Excuse me?
Miss Everett, Miss Jones,
Yeah.
this is the time for Mr. Mayers to speak.
Sorry.
So in any event, we have a garnishment out, but we're not enforcing the 25%. Mr. Jones is on a payment plan. I was frankly kind of surprised that he objected, because he's current on his payments, although the payment doesn't cover the interest because of the statutory interest that Mr. Jones addressed. And as Your Honor knows, and you tried to explain it to Ms. Everett last hearing on November 22nd, and maybe again today, that this 13% interest was not set by me, it was set by the legislature. That's the law, it's statutory. And that's because this judgment has grown. So I certainly want to have the court deny any objections from Mr. Jones. He wants this thing to go away as well. I don't believe either of their arguments have any validity, Your Honor. And if Mr. Jones does not want to continue on his payment plan with us, we will just merely enforce the forever garnishment if he wants to stop the direct payment from his employer. That would be up to him.
All right, well.
What's the bottom dollar of the count?
Wait, Rodney.
The problem here is that the statutory interest continues to accumulate. So that is the problem, and that's the contract you signed. I mean, that's I don't know how to
what's
fix
the bottom right now if I wanted to just cut a check? What's the bottom dollar? Bet
All
can't
right,
nobody tell me.
So
Are there
I'm sure
any
Mr. Mayor's.
negotiations for a lump sum
I bet you
settlement?
can't nobody tell me
Wait,
what's the bottom
Rodney,
dollar.
wait
if I
a
wanted to
minute,
cut a check right
Rodney.
now.
Right.
Wait a minute.
If you, I'll tell you what, if you want a statutory interest lump sum payment of what you owe, I'm sure Mr. Mayers can submit it to you or the court in a letter for both of you.
Right now. They should know right now.
Mr. Jones, it's gonna require some math to figure out what the statutory interest would.
Sound like the mortgage.
Excuse me.
stuff.
Judge,
like the
can you
mortgage
please,
shit.
excuse me, Rodney, just 1 second. Can you please tell me, have he sold the vehicle? Why
I
isn't
don't
the
think
money
that
that
matters, ma'am. I don't think that matters anymore. I don't think the vehicle
so he
matters
keeps
anymore.
the vehicle also? He keeps the vehicle,
What-
and even
what-
what he sold, that money doesn't
what-
get taken off?
Ma'am, you signed the contract. You're responsible for the debt.
That's what I'm saying. We paid it 3 times. That's what I'm saying. We
have
did not
not.
pay for 42.
There was an amount of interest on the debt you paid, and it's statutory, so it accumulates. I don't know how to fix that.
So you say it just keeps going
But I
and going
already
and going and
paid
going.
it. Is what I'm saying,
No.
sir. Is what I'm saying.
But
It's already paid.
All right, Mr. Jones, if you want a full lump sum, I'm sure Mr. Mayers will provide that to you.
Your Honor, if I may jump in here?
I
Yeah.
just want to, okay. I'm sorry. I
All
just
right, go
want to
ahead,
know,
Mr.
are
Mayers.
you
Ms.
saying that
Everett,
we
let
have to
Mr.
pay?
Mayers-
I
Ms.
just
Everett,
want
let
to know
Ms.
so I
Mayers-
can,
Go ahead, let him talk. Let him talk.
oh my Jesus.
Mr.
I
Mayers?
just need to know.
Let him
I'd like
talk.
to try to talk, Your Honor. We entertain offers of lump sum settlements all the time. Outside of the court hearing, we don't negotiate on the record. So after this hearing, and again, I ask the court to deny any of their objections, if the defendants want to contact me directly,
Give me a phone
and
number
make
to
an
call you.
offer, for a lump sum payment. I will take that to my client and we can negotiate possibly a settlement on this matter. If not, we need to continue and have these objections denied.
Okay,
right, well,
now,
give,
can I
Miss-
ask the judge a question? That's all I need to know,
Well,
so I can be
that's
done with this.
the judge wants to ask a question.
Okay,
Mr.
go
Mayers,
ahead.
do you have a number that Ms.
Thank you.
Everett or Mr. Jones can
Thank
reach you at in order to accommodate any type of negotiation for a lump sum payment?
No, but I can't tell the court that my client is very pliable and we often knock off a lot of the interest to get a lump sum number. We need to have them make the first offer so we don't bid against ourselves and see what
Do you
they're
that-
offering. And that
do you
then my
require-
duty would be to take it to my client
re-
for an answer or a counter offer.
Do you require that, then that request for a lump, do you require that be sent to your address? And I can state that for the record.
No,
they
we
can
need a
call
phone
me.
number.
Excuse me, Mr.
Boss,
Jones.
wait a minute.
Hey, can I
Mr.
talk?
Jones, Mr. Jones, let
Can I
me figure
answer
this
the
out,
judge,
all right?
please?
Yeah, just wait
Thank
a
you.
minute, Rodney.
Can I answer the judge's question, please?
Right.
Yeah,
I
they
just
can-
want to know what address I can put on the record for them to contact you at.
The address that is on the file, Your Honor, it's the 5725 Fox Hunt Lane address in West Bloomfield.
What is it? I'm
It's
sorry.
right on all the paperwork in the file.
All right,
Is it the
I'm
one-
gonna indicate that for the record. I have 5725 Fox Hunt Lane, West Bloomfield, Michigan, 48322.
Correct.
That's not
All
what I
right.
have. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry, Judge. Can you repeat that? Because that's not what I have on all
It's
my paperwork.
okay, I will, ma'am, and it's on all the paperwork. I'm reading it right from the paperwork.
And
So
you want
it's
me to read what I
57
have on all my paperwork? Do you want me to read
Well,
what's all
I
on
think
my
it's more
paperwork?
important that I read what I have on my paperwork, ma'am.
But
okay,
that was my
so-
point of trying to get in contact with him.
Right,
His
let
address
me
and
give you-
telephone
I'm gonna-
numbers are wrong on my
Ma'am,
paperwork.
Ma'am, I'm gonna give you the number. It's 5725 Fox Hunt Lane, West Bloomfield, Michigan, 48322.
Judge,
That
can I
would
ask
be
a
the
can I
address
ask
for
a
any
question?
future negotiations. Mr. Jones, you can ask one question and then I'm gonna make
I'm
my
just
ruling.
gonna ask one question. And I want to
All
ask
right.
this to the lawyer. So you operate off mail alone? Why can't we have a phone number? Your business is based on just mailing you?
I have the number. I have the correct
The
telephone
judge asked
number
for the
now.
phone number. You went to talking about making a deal with the people. He asked for a phone number.
All right, Mr. Jones, you have a contact address, and that's all that's required. I know Mr. Mayers doesn't have any problem coming to court. I'm going to deny the motion to object at this
Okay.
time for the same
Judge.
reasons I did last, for exactly the same reasons I did last time.
And I
All
do
right.
understand, Judge, but can I please ask one question before I
Sure.
do anything? Right now, because I just don't have the understanding and I just want to make sure. We already paid this man $20,000. He has the vehicle. He's saying that we still owe him $42,000. He has wrong address and telephone number of me trying to get in contact with this guy. I could not afford a lawyer and my income was too much for a lawyer. I finally, because of the pandemic and was not working, got in
But I can
contact with
afford
a
a lawyer
lawyer.
so they can get
Wait
ready.
a minute, Rodney.
Ain't
and
no
so
break.
now-
You can hang the phone up. I can afford a lawyer. So I'm off this call.
So the only thing I'm asking,
All right,
Judge,
thank you,
Get
Mr.
ready,
Jones.
Mr. Myers. Whoever
he
you are,
has,
my man already
All right,
knows,
Mr.
so he's
Jones.
gonna eat you up in court.
All right, we've denied the objection. You're free to leave the Zoom courtroom. Ms. Everett, did you want anything else before we indicate the end of this file?
no, Judge, I just don't understand when I told you I have letters and he has wrong, even the address that he gave you. It's not on none of my paperwork. I really
Okay.
have been trying to get a hold of this guy.
I-
And the
I would
lawyer
go
who
to
I
that-
got a hold to also tried to get a hold of him. She called me twice and said, you are absolutely right. I cannot get a hold of him. Then she
Well,
called me back with a correct telephone number. I did
All
not
right,
get a
we
hold
have
to
that-
this guy until the 11th of last month. And he
All right,
knows
ma'am.
that.
All right. We have the
You're up.
5725 Fox Hunt Lane address, West Bloomfield for the record. It's on the record now. Ms. Everett, if you have negotiations, you can send your letter to that address and we'll go from there. That's all for the record. So I'm denying the motion once again for the same reason I did on November 22nd. I'll sign the
So
order
he
to
had
that
the right
effect.
to
I
do
have it.
that. So that's what he did.
And
Okay, well,
so that's
ain't nothing I can
that's
do
all
about
for
it.
the.
I don't know how I could answer when he give me wrong address and wrong telephone number. I don't
All
understand.
right, thank you, ma'am.
How can I?
Wait.
Thank you, ma'am. And there are ways to go to the state bar if you have questions concerning Mr. Mayor's
I
activity.
did. I just told you I went
Right.
through a lawyer. It took her time. I even can get that in writing. She could not
All
get a
right.
hold to this guy until
All
she
right.
called me and said, I finally got a hold to him. He knows
Your
it
Honor,
and I know it. I can
may I
give you,
All right,
respond?
Ms.
she's a
Everett, Ms.
lawyer. I can
Everett,
give you her
Ms.
name
Everett.
and everything.
All right, Ms. Everett, Mr. Mayers, you wanted to speak?
I want to respond just to that one issue, Your Honor.
Sure.
You may recall, I brought this up on November 22nd as well. Ms. Everett did contact an attorney who had absolutely no problem getting a hold of me. I talked to the
No, she
attorney.
didn't.
Went over
She called
the
me
facts
twice.
excuse me, can I talk?
Yeah,
I went over the
let
facts
it's
with
Mr.
her
Mayor's
lawyer.
time to talk, Ms. Everett.
I went over the facts with her lawyer, and she indicated to me that she didn't see any flaws in our procedure and what was going on. She understands the statutory interest, and she indicated to me that she would advise Ms. Everett to contact me to make payment arrangements or make some sort of settlement because she didn't see any defense to this. So I certainly object to the categorization that Ms. Everett is saying that nobody can get a hold of me. Her lawyer did and talked to me. I'm very accessible, Your Honor.
Thank you. So I'm denying the motion. I've signed the order. It's the same for the same reasons I did a month ago. So that's all for the record in 030465. I would like to thank everybody for their appearance. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Will you be sending out the order to us, a copy?
Yes, we will.
Okay, then I won't prepare one. I'll wait for the true copy to come. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. That's all for the record in that file. Thank you for your appearance, Ms. Everett. Ready on place management. Ms. Pereira, are you ready on place management?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So we're on the record in docket 21-02622, Place Management LLC versus Frankie Nelson. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Your Honor, Corey Grandmason appearing on behalf of Place Management.
Appearing on behalf of Ms. Nelson, who is also present in the Zoom courtroom.
All right. And ma'am, you are Frankie Nelson?
Yes, I am.
You can hear me all right, Ms. Nelson?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All right. This is the time set for a show cause on the matter. I believe it was brought by yourself, Ms. Pereira. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, you can proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Green Mason and I had an opportunity to talk this morning. There are a number of repairs that are still being completed in the home. It sounds like they had the plumber out yesterday and they are ordering some parts. There's some work in the basement that is to be done. Mr. Green Mason and I are hoping that we will be able to work out a resolution to this motion. So we're going to ask if the court could fit us in either a week or two so that we can let some of those repairs get completed.
I don't know about a week or two over the holidays with my schedule, if that's going to be, if that's going to work. I can probably sit something in the first week of January, knowing my schedule. Would that be amenable?
That works for me, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, of course. Of course, Your Honor.
I mean, I'm just being careful because I know the holidays are coming. I know I've got some time off and others have time off, and I'm just being careful here. Let's see, the first week of January.
Thursday, January 5th at 8:30.
All right, how about January 5th at 8:30 on a Thursday? That'll put you before our murder. That'll put you before our criminal prelims.
It's a Freudian murder prelim.
Yeah, I mean that was a Freudian slip on my part. And yeah, but it was it is our criminal prelims. But if January 5th at 8:30 works for that date, let's put it there.
That sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to reset this. Parties met in a breakout room, and we'll reset it for January 5th at 8:30. Anything else for the record, Mr. Grand Mason?
Not at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Pereira?
No, Your Honor. And before I go, could I go into a breakout with Ms. Nelson?
With Ms. Nelson? Absolutely.
Thanks.
So that's all for the record, docket 21-02622, and I'd have Ms. Pereira and Ms. Nelson placed in a breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And today we don't have,
No prelims, I think?
no PCCs because you don't have exams the next day because your judge goes, so I'm kind of using this.
All right. That's the all day. That's the
I-
catch-all.
It's various things.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 22-01996. That is Citibank versus Bradley Cornelius.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Will
Gavin
the
Gray.
parties please, will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Gavin Gray, P79819 for the plaintiff Citibank.
Sir, you are Bradley Cornelius,
Yes,
and you can hear me all right, Mr. Cornelius?
I can.
This is the time set for a pre-trial in the matter. Mr. Gray, on behalf of Citibank, how are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, I'd like to request an adjournment of 30 days for the pretrial. I was able to talk with Mr. Cornelius in a breakout room, and he has declared that he has the power of attorney Start New Financial, and there's been no contact with Start New Financial. And he's going to reach out to them, get in touch, and see if they can get a hold of us. Based on the answer, it didn't look like the defendant was necessarily disputing the debt at this point. So I don't know that a discovery request is necessary at this point, but I just request a 30-day adjournment at the pre-trial, and it gives him time to get in contact with his power of attorney, and we can proceed from there.
All right, Mr. Cornelius, do you have any objection to the 30-day adjournment in regards to you getting in contact with your attorney in this matter in order to proceed?
No, I don't.
All right, let me get you a new date, 30 days out or so.
January 18th, 8:30.
So January 18th at 8:30 will be the second pretrial date on this matter. And then hopefully the parties can reach who they need to, and then we can have some more talks on this. But I have that second pretrial date set for January 18th at 8:30.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
All right. Anything else for the record, docket 22-01996, Mr. Gray?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Mr. Cornelius?
Nope.
All right, thank you. That's all for the record, that file. Everybody have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Good morning.
Oh, he's-
Good morning, Mr. English. You're here on the Sarah Stenbeck case.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I've got the city attorney here. They may want to meet with you in a breakout room. Would you be amenable to that?
I would. Thank you.
All right. So give her 1 second to log on. And ma'am, on the iPhone, are you Sarah Stenbeck?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm just making sure I know who's here. And then we'll go forward. I'll call your case in just a second. Your attorney may be meeting with the city attorney in a breakout room. All right, ma'am?
Okay.
All right. So Mr. English, there we go. And Ms. Stenbeck, you'll be out of the breakout room until, so you can talk to your lawyer afterwards. All right, ma'am?
Okay.
Thanks.
Let's eat it. Oh, let's fix it up. Hold on. Hold on. What the hell? Leave.
Mr. English, do you need to speak with your client, Ms. Stenbeck, before we proceed?
If I could for 2 minutes, Your Honor, that would be sufficient.
All right, let's, so we'll place Ms. English and Ms. Stenbeck in a breakout room.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Stenbeck, you'll have to join the breakout room. It's room 2. If there's, you should get a prompt.
Okay.
Thank you. Ma'am, do you see a prompt or anything that would move you to room 2?
Not yet. No.
Did you get a prompt to go to room 3?
Mm-mm. I mean, I saw it above, but I have not gotten a prompt yet.
As soon as you see it, you should hit on it. Or Mr. English, we're trying to get your client in a room right now and we're having some trouble.
Your Honor, I don't need that. I can talk with her afterwards.
All right. All right. Thank you.
I just got a prompt.
All right. We're good though. Stay here.
Okay.
So we're on the record in docket 2203-107. That's the City of Lansing versus Sarah Stenbeck. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Amanda Ishmael, Assistant City Attorney appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney John M. English, P59-500 in the Kronzek firm, appearing on behalf of Sarah Steenbeck.
And ma'am, you are Sarah Steenbeck,
Yes.
and you can hear me all right, Ms. Steenbeck?
Yes.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Rishmawi, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, my understanding is that we will be requesting to set the matter for 3 weeks for a second pre-trial for compliance purposes.
And I think
Is that your-
specifically, Your Honor, we're looking at if it's convenient for the court's docket, December 27th. At the beginning of the year, the first 2 weeks, I have a multitude of commitments.
Well, Mr. English, you're in luck because that's the only day we have. We only have December 27th. So we'll do this. Yep. So December 27th at what time? 10:30. December 27th at 10:30.
All right, and could we just ask Ms. Steenbeck if that date and time works is acceptable for her?
Ms. Steenbeck, is that an acceptable date, December 27th at 10:30? That can be by Zoom.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So December 27th at 10:30 will reset for second pretrial. Anything else for the city, Ms. Rishmawi?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything, Mr. English?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Have a nice
All right,
holiday.
thank you. All right, you're free to leave the court, you too, sir. You're free to leave the Zoom courtroom, Ms. Steenbeck.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And Ms. Steenbeck, you're free to leave the Zoom courtroom. 02417. Mr. Schmau, you've had the opportunity to speak with the public defender in the matter.
Yes, Your Honor. So we spoke with the victim in this matter, and he doesn't have any out-of-pocket expenses, so there's no restitution to be compensated.
Okay, no out-of-pocket expenses for restitution from the victim. CV, according to city attorney. All right. So that there's no need for a hearing. It's just continued with Mr. McCray. Mr. McCray didn't show up today, but are you asking for a bench warrant?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Robinson, I guess my only question is he should be paying his $225 so he doesn't get show cause.
Sure,
All right.
I will contact him to let him know about paying that.
All right. So no out-of-pocket expenses. So no need for restitution hearing. And the public defender will make sure he's paying his the $225 that comes out of the pled guilty to the fail to speed ticket, I think it was. Anyway, anything else for the record? Docket 22-02417. Mr. Schmaui?
No, Your Honor.
Anything,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank
All
you.
right, thank you. That's all for that record. All right, we didn't have a big city ordinance